Reborn on the 4th of July. This is an experience with a research chemical called DOB by a user named Name Not Important, and it was posted in April 3rd of 2006. Now at the time I believed that I was going to be ingesting LSD. Completely wrong as it turned out. There's a research or designer drug named DOB. I found out about 2 weeks later that it was this substance that I had taken. Also, there were 2 other people that took this drug with me, but for the sake of anonymity and because the experience is so subjective, I will only speak of what I experienced. It was July 3rd, 2005 at 7:03 p.m. when I put the first piece of blotter paper on my tongue. There was a very acidic taste in my mouth for about 2 minutes, and then nothing. But I left that piece of paper in my mouth for a good 30 minutes. Nothing happened, but I knew that it took a while for LSD to come on. However, after an hour and a half, we all decided that since we weren't feeling anything, we would all take another hit. Now, one could be wondering how we knew nothing was happening. Well, we didn't. We didn't even really stop to think about it. Oops. Oh well, it's too late now, because that acidy taste is now creeping down the back of my throat again. And now, for the punchline. 20 minutes after taking the second hit, things start getting a little too real. The room has a strange feel to it. We're in the living room watching TV with some friends that aren't tripping, and I keep looking around at them, and they at me, waiting to see if we trip or not. And then it hits me. We just redosed 20 minutes ago, and the first one is starting to come on. What the fuck have I done? I remember Dr. Gonzo's words about the first rising waves of an acid frenzy. Is this it? Or is this just my jitters? Did I think that or say it? Can they hear me? I asked one of the other guys that took it if he feels anything. He says he feels weird. I asked the other guy. He feels nothing. 20 more minutes go by, anxiety making it more like 20 years. And then I looked up. The ceiling had grown up about 90 feet into the air. It was like sitting on the floor of a cathedral, looking up into the belfries. The ceiling lamp was some huge monstrosity sitting perched up there, waiting for unwitting prey to come along. A moth was flying around the ceiling, bumping into the textured mud stuff, and suddenly it too was huge, flapping around up in the arcs, part of some bizarre upper canopy ecosystem that revolved around the ceiling lamp monster. I somehow took this all in stride. Now the other 2 were definitely starting to feel something coming on, so we moved to the back room. I had moved into an interesting phase of the hallucination. All the colors that I saw were bleeding out into large coronas around everything. Like in a movie when they point the lens at the sun. This was a much more pleasant landscape than the ceiling monster, and I began to feel more positive about the experience. We were all definitely entering a weird headspace, so we all sat down and just started bullshitting. One of the most interesting things I experienced during the night was when we were all sitting in a circle, and I could feel a kind of magnetic resonance between the 3 of us, while everything else was outside of the circle. It is very hard to explain. I could physically feel the lines of conversation and thoughts going between us. It made it very easy to follow the strange conversation because the ideas were tapping me on the arm gently and keeping me abreast of the situation. Eventually, a couple of hours later, one of the guys decided to take a shower, as he had been in the car all day and still had not showered. So he went, and the other friend and I kept talking. When he returned, I noticed he had a strange look in his eye. I asked him, "How was the shower?" He replied, "I don't really want to talk about it, man." That brought me up short. "Okay," I said. What had happened? What had gone wrong? Was he dangerous? I didn't know, but I didn't think so. I too needed a shower. So I asked him if I should take one or not. He said, "Oh yeah, you definitely should. Just get ready." What the fuck am I supposed to do with that? I'm sitting here tripping balls and I'm torn between 2 decisions. I took the shower option. I love showers more than almost anything in the world, so I didn't really think it could go wrong. Well, I got in the bathroom, took my clothes off, and got the water going. And then I looked in the mirror. My heart stopped. I'm fucking serious. I've never heard silence like I heard at that moment. My heart stopped, my breathing stopped, my brain stopped, my face... What the fuck happened to my face? In place of my face, there was a monster. I had red eyes and there were open sores on my face, and my reflection laughed in my horrified face. and I realized that I was looking at the true face of our inner nature. It's not pretty. So I finally tore myself away from the mirror and got in the shower. It felt good, but a little intense. The water felt like it was tearing through my flesh, and that is a strange sensation, to say the least. As I looked at my body, I realized that I couldn't remember anything about it. I was looking at myself the way a space alien might. I completely rediscovered myself in a physical way. Very strange indeed. It was at this moment that I realized this was one of the first things that had happened that I had never heard of people experiencing on acid, but I just figured it was subjective. Wrong. Then shit got even weirder. As I was drying myself off, studiously avoiding eye contact with that fucking mirror, I knew that I felt weird, in a different way than before. Then I looked at my arm hair. It was flowing outward, kind of flattening down on my arm and forming points. This continued for a minute with no new developments as I stared at my arm. Then it hit me. My arm was growing scales. As soon as that realization hit me, I felt my arms and legs stiffening, and I felt my head changing. I had a large crest of scales on my head, and holy fuck, I have a tail. I've never before nor since ever felt a more realistic, more unbelievable sensation. I turned into a fucking lizard. When I went back to the room, I sat down, clenching and unclenching my claws repeatedly and flicking my tongue. One of the guys asked me, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I replied, "I'm a fucking lizard, man." To which he replied, "That's goddamn ridiculous." And suddenly it left. I was human again. I don't know if it'll ever happen again, but I'll never forget that incredible half an hour where I was a lizard. What the fuck? Later, when we were talking again, I looked up and saw the ceiling. It was one of those mud-textured ceilings, and all of a sudden it started swirling. Eventually, it formed a large Mayan-esque sun calendar with my spiritual form sitting at the center. I couldn't read the time and date from it, and I was confused until I realized that it was a calendar of my life. All my hopes, dreams, memories, actions, they were all there. Shit that I didn't remember at all was documented in painful detail. It was and remains one of the most beautiful, stunning, and moving hallucinations I've ever had. Well, the night wore on without much more craziness that is really interesting to write or read. We realized as dawn approached that our plan of sleeping before canoeing was completely in vain. We were still hopelessly in the grips of this awful drug, and so we just said, fuck it. We're going canoeing with a head full of acid. While the other guys kind of stumbled around, I took a small joint outside and sat on the back porch to await the sun. As I smoked, which certainly didn't help me come down, but it did help me calm down, the sun's first rays peeked over the privacy fence, and I gasped. I've never felt anything like that, before or since. It was like God himself laid his hand on my shoulder and said, everything's okay. The sun's rays went straight through me like bullets, and I felt alive again, like I had purpose. And that purpose was to subjugate that fucking river and make it my bitch lover, and with this new purpose, I strode inside to pack for the day. Well, apparently that purpose had nothing to do with packing things I would actually need, because I didn't pack a goddamn thing I needed. Just random shit my hand happened to pick up. Oh well, I wouldn't know or worry about that until much later. Eventually, everyone was loaded up and we made our way to the school where we were meeting other people. Wait a minute, other people? I realized that I was fucking terrified of other people. It's incredibly hard to explain the absolute irrational fear of sober people I have on this drug. So my fellow fuck-ups and I stayed away from the main herd, while my sober savior explained the current situation to them. Apparently they thought it was very funny and pretty cool. I didn't. I didn't want them there, but it was far too late for that. We started driving to the river, and that was very enjoyable. We listened to music and bullshitted, smoking along the way, of course. The only bad part was when we stopped at a McDonald's because we all had to pee very badly. It was the 4th of July, and this was the last place to get food that I didn't have to make myself, so of course all crazy-ass rednecks were stocking up on the hate fuel. I had to literally force my way through the crowd, all the while on the verge of having an epic freakout. When I made it to the pisser, I almost crawled out of the ceiling to get out of that hellhole. Anyways, we eventually made it to the river, got our canoes. How, I don't know or remember, but somebody took my money and they turned me loose inside, and got on the bus to the drop-off point. It started out like a one-way cattle car ride to Auschwitz, but as we got used to it, the mood lightened. Eventually, I was stepping into my canoe, and I was free. Amazingly, I was having absolutely no trouble canoeing. On land, I was jerky, walking in a crude parody of Johnny Depp in Fear and Loathing, but in a boat, I had control. I can't explain the beauty of nature that day. The colors were almost tangible. The reeds in the river waved hello, and I saw at least several completely imaginary animals in the trees and in the water. There was a purple, green, blue, yellow, orange monkey in a tree who was eating miniature chocolate canoes. I can't really remember if I actually saw it or I just thought it. There was also a large water dragon underneath my boat with large teeth, but he said hello and went his way. Unfortunately, the actual wildlife was in hiding because the river that day was gutted with methed out rednecks. I'm serious. When I'm tripping, I'm unusually in tune with everyone around me. I could tell who was drunk, who was stoned, and who was geeked out. Most of everyone I didn't know was geeked out. Frighteningly so. But we made it. Long story short, I know too late for that. I had the best day I've had in my life. Smoked a whole bunch of shit, tried to get drunk, but couldn't. And except for wondering if I had permanently crossed some wires in my brain, generally had a fucking incredible time. I walked or crawled through the valley of the shadow, but the reward at the end was well worth it. And that was my first, but not my last, experience with DOB. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. Have you ever heard of DOB? Have you ever done DOB? Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have any information on it. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And I promise the last thing I'm going to mention is our Discord. Thanks again. Much love. Be happy. Be yourself. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.